Hey, it's Jessica, and I know I've done one of these videos before, but this is actually preparing new fleece, which when I did show you how I washed my fleece, which was already prepped fleece that was dirty, I prepped my fleece the same way I wash dirty fleece, but people were confused in that video and they kept asking me to do a video on how to prep fleece, so it's pretty much the same thing. So here we go. So we're preparing all my stuff from Cavy. It's going to be 2 loads because the liners aren't going to fit in with everything else. Kind of just all fell on the floor here in the basement. So what I use is, I do still use detergent for prepping fleece. Some people don't, some people do. I think the soap kind of helps. Still use vinegar, definitely, because of the acid, plus it is a natural softener. And that is borax, which when the box is full, it's hard to pour the exact amount. I always end up with extra. So that's the borax. This is the detergent I use. This is my favorite one that I have available, which is just Purex. It's the hyperallergenic, so no scents, no dyes, it's clear. That's what it looks like. And then there's just plain white vinegar from Walmart. And you can use, I've used like a no-name, Walmart's no-name detergent that was like hypoallergenic. It worked good. The only one I don't really like is Tide. I tried the Tide, Gentle or something it's called. And it's no dyes and no scent. I don't like the Tide. I don't suggest you use Tide at all for your fleece. So, do you like the Purex? You don't need that much of it. That is probably too much. You don't want a lot, because it's not like your clothing. You don't want the soap to build up. So I always wash on hot, especially with preparing fleece. Some people think that they can save energy since the fleece isn't dirty yet, and they can do like cold. You can prep fleece on cold, but it might take you a lot more washes. So you might as well just go with hot. Or warm. I do hot. I know fleece doesn't do the best in hot washes, but really, like, your pigs are peeing on it, so I always wash my laundry on hot. I think of it like a reusable diaper. I'm sure, you know, like if I had reusable diapers and I had a kid, there's no way I'd be washing that stuff in cold water. I'd be washing it on hot. So I do the same thing with all my guinea pig stuff. The fleece stuff might not last as long as some other people. I don't know. I feel like my stuff's holding up pretty well, but I always do hot. And I also find my warm not that warm, so yeah, that's why I don't do warm. It's like cold, lukewarm, boiling hot. So we go with boiling hot. I just use the regular cycle. I might do it for a longer cycle though, since I'm trying to wick it, and I don't want to wash it more than once. I already did a bunch of laundry today, so it's only getting a 1 wash, so hopefully this works. Now it's going to get loud. So that's not really that much detergent, considering I'm doing a large load. I'm not really sure how much the borax actually helps, but I always use it when I prepare fleece. Just vinegar. And all fleeces are different. Like, I usually do just, like, cut my fleece once now. But sometimes you have to do it more than once. The hot water helps too. Because what you're trying to do is just strip that barrier that new fleece has. That's really hot. You'll see it smoking, so my hot water's hot. So, I'm washing all these stuff. Pads. I don't really know why I'm washing the corner curtains, because they don't, you know, get peed on. But I'm washing them anyways. This was a pain in the butt to get off the cot thing. Pat wasn't too happy, but he got it. More pads. Corner curtain. My big 1x1 pads. Ugh, cozy caves. Let's do this. Let's try to make it balanced. Extra pads, because I always need extra pads. I always do the cozies that I want to keep not too scrunched up, like on top. That tunnel is awesome. It stays good. Like, I think the whole reason why it's shaped like a triangle like this is that it doesn't matter what happens to it, it always stays open. Oh, it fell on the ground and got dirties. Get off. Alright. So this is a Heidi, so I'm putting that on top. I always put, like I said, the Heidi's on top, Cuddle Cup. Well, my other Cuddle Cups I don't put on top because they're just like, they're not as fancy as this one. Let's do those. I'm kind of worried about this one because, I don't know. It's just so much softer than everything else. Okay. Put the hot water doesn't kill it. There you go. That's how you prepare fleece. And then next, oh, I think I can fit the drip pads in this load. Drip pads. So the next load will be the same thing. See how the water is, you can actually see it. That is what we're talking about, how fleece doesn't wick. The water is just bouncing off of it. And that's why we're prepping it so the water does not do that. Because you don't want their urine, when they pee on it, to make little droplets like that. You want it to soak in right away. So that's why you're preparing fleece, and that's why it's important to do it before you use it, or you'll end up with a soggy mess, which is not hygienic at all. Of course, if you're doing what I'm doing and only washing it once before you use it, it might not be that good to go. You might need to change out your cage quicker until it gets a few washes and starts wicking better. So the next load will just be the liners. And yes, I can fit both liners in one load. I always do it and I don't have a problem. So yeah, there's my clean laundry from earlier. So that's about it. So this is the stuff I use. This is a lantern. And you don't want to use scents just because guinea pigs are very sensitive to scents, so that's why everyone usually suggests you use like something that is clean and free, because it's for sensitive skin or hyperallergenic, just because it's usually no scents and no colors. The borax is really good for odors since it's natural. That's why I like the borax, and it's a stain remover. So this is the Tide. I still have it, and it's just awful. And vinegar is just, it's good for also odors, and like I said, it's a natural fabric softener since you cannot use fabric softener. Do not use the liquid fabric softener, don't use these, that's for personal laundry, don't use those because that will just put that layer back on the fleece, which bounces the water off. So no fabric softener. That's why you want to use the vinegar if you have your stuff really staticky. But I don't find fleece gets that staticky even in winter, so it's not too bad. So that's gonna be washing, and I'm done. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. And bye bye. Oh, and I just dry it on like a regular dry. I don't do high heat. I do auto dry, which is low heat. You can also hang it to dry, but that takes longer. Some people say the drying helps. The heat of the dryer kind of helps strip the layer off. I'm not sure because I've never actually hung up my stuff. So you can try it if you're trying to save energy. Try the hanging it up. You might have to wash it one more time then, but you can always try it. But yeah, you shouldn't need high heat. And like I said, sorry about that. I forgot about the dryer issue. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. And bye bye.